Hey there, Wondering Watchers. Welcome to this pick a card reading that reveals how the holidays will influence a connection that you have with a special someone. This applies to new texting buddies, social media flirtations, casual dating, and even committed relationships. The holidays can be a busy time with lots of distractions, or it can provide some downtime to focus on the things and the people we care about. Either way, this reading lets you know how this time affects the person on your mind and its impact on the connection between you two. Keep in mind that these cards only provide perspective and that it's your choices and your actions that lead to the ultimate truth of your situation. You have agency over your life and you make the decisions about how to live it. If you are new to pick a card readings, I'll quickly review the process. For those of you ready to explore, I have in front of me 4 piles of cards. In pile number 1, Light Seer's Tarot. In pile number 2, Ethereal Vision's Illuminated Tarot Deck. Pile number 3, Tarot of Haunted House. And pile number 4, 78 Tarot Animal. I believe it's called Tarot of the Wild. So go ahead and pick the pile of cards that you feel drawn to the most. If you are hoping to hear a specific message that you don't get in your initial reading, then feel free to pick another pile. If you don't get the messages you are hoping for in any of the piles, then it may not be for your best and highest good to hear that particular message at this time. Just trust your intuition to lead you to the right reading. Feel free to pause the video if you need more time to review your deck choices. Once you've made your decision, go to the description box and click on the link for the corresponding pile. Now it's time to tap into the cards, choose your holiday make or break tarot adventure, and let's make magic happen. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 1, those who picked Light Seer's Tarot, to find out how the holidays will impact your connection with a certain individual. Before we get into the tarot cards, we're going to look at some oracle cards to identify who you're connecting with, group number 1. This should give you another point of reference to see whether this is the right reading for you. You have daring. So group number 1, the person that you are connecting with is someone that you see as kind of pushing the boundaries of things, kind of likes to walk that line of making people feel slightly uncomfortable or challenge their beliefs in a way. And you have feminine. So this person is, someone who doesn't mind taking on, feminine characteristics, might even embrace them. Someone who is, again, playing with certain boundaries or societal delineations of things or expectations of what it means to be, daring, what it means to be feminine, what it means to, play certain roles in a way that's unexpected. So let's see what else we have for the person you are connecting with. You have the Eagle, freedom, perspective, victory. So here, the person you're connecting with is someone who looks at the bigger picture of things, takes a real broad perspective of what's going on, and likes to, it is a sense of freedom how they kind of operate, but to some degree that sense of freedom is for the purpose of kind of like an unspoken challenge of whether or not the people around them are going to, say something, push back, try to fit them into a box, because it seems that this person that you have a connection with sees it as almost everything that they do, everything that they stand for, is like they're getting away with something, and people don't recognize it. Here you have the mouse: focus, conservation, and modesty. So here the mouse is kind of that energy of really something that is small but can have a huge effect on its surroundings. Not really having to do much, but maybe just it's kind of making me think about how yes, this is going to be about me, I apologize, but I learned something about social expectations, and it has to do with how people ride in an elevator. And if you ride in an elevator and you kind of walk into an elevator and you keep facing the back of the elevator and let the doors close behind you, it really makes people uncomfortable. It even makes, me uncomfortable when I did it the first, few times. But it's a sense of like, I get that kind of feeling with these cards of doing things that are really small and really, it's not huge announcements. It's very subtle things that kind of challenge people's expectations. And so that's kind of the feeling that I have with this individual you are connecting with, group number 1. Now we're going to get back to you, because this is about you and your connection. All right, so let's take a look at the pre-holiday energy influencing your connection. You've got positive rose-colored glasses. So it's a sense of fun, a sense of flirtations. It's, even with these like heart-shaped glasses, it's playful. It's kind of like almost putting on different costumes and trying things on, and laughing at how other people react to stuff. Let's see what else we have. We have reflection. So it seems like the energy here, it's like you two might be like two peas in a pod. It might be that you two are really interested in kind of that thing of like playing with expectations and getting, seeing how people react to certain things. You have this card of mystery. So there's a sense of really unknowns that are kind of creating those the intensity of the connection. Maybe you haven't defined what it is that is going on between you two, haven't defined what that connection is, but it's a sense of the unknown is kind of building up, like intensifying the whole situation. Unknowns of how people are going to be around, react to things. It's very like playful, it seems. And you have this card of comfort, and you've got this teddy bear here. So to some degree, this connection that you have, it is that concept of like reflection and being with someone that It's like you are comfortable, you're both comfortable in your own skin when you two are connecting. So let's get into these cards. Okay, so group number one, let's take a look at their pre-holiday feelings about you. You have High Priestess. This is the second major arcana card. It's a concept of like duality, things that are both hidden and, seen, and recognizing that there's a place in between. It's also, again, that concept of things are not one or the other. It's not either or. There's variations, there's a continuum, and it's as if they feel they can play with this continuum with you. And I really like how the pink on the top of the High Priestess goes into this positive card. The reason why I brought up the fact that the High Priestess is the second major arcana card is this mystery card has these two pillars here, and it, like the moon up in the corner. And it makes me think of the High Priestess. And you have this card of reflection, this concept of duality. And even in this positive card here, you've got the lenses with the two hearts. So here it's their feelings about you. It's a sense of like a soul connection almost. So let's see their pre-holiday hopes for this connection. You have the Hierophant, and I love how the Hierophant colors also blend in with this positive card. So their hopes for the connection, you could see there's like this stairway leading to something that's greater than the Hierophant. It's a sense of like this is a spiritual connection for you both. And a sense of really, the Hierophant has to do with things that are traditional, conformity, but it's a feeling of almost like in the face of that, surrounded by that, what is it that you can connect to that is greater than yourself? And I'm going to actually clarify that because I can. Interesting. You have the Three of Swords here. So it is a sense to me, I don't feel like the hope is, to break your heart. It is a hope of the connection that you have being so much more powerful than you as individuals, that it'll help provide context for healing things in the past, expectations you have of yourself, expectations that you had of other people, things that, provided disappointment to you or to them, and really recognizing that there's a time and place for everything almost, and that the person you were before, the person they were before, isn't the person that they are now, or the person that they're going to be in the future. So let's see a key realization during the holidays that they have about your connection. Four of Swords. So group number one, I think it's really interesting that, I was talking about here, like moving past this Three of Swords, healing this, and here, key realization is that you both are kind of healing from past things. You are both taking, maybe time out from each other or time out from other people, and being in a place where you can really focus on nothing, on just, getting a sense of clarity of who you are and what you need to feel comfortable. Let's take a look at a key realization during the holidays that you have about this connection. You have Page of Cups. Again, that playful, childlike, sense of wonder, sense of possibilities, playing with expectations. Here you can see this person is like looking at their feet, and they can see that pigs actually can fly. So, it seems like this person is really opening you up to being comfortable in your own skin and looking at yourself and your opportunities in the world around you in a different way. So here, let's see the effect that the holidays will have on your connection. You have 3 of Cups. So it will basically, make it that you realize that not only, whatever this connection is, at the heart of it, that you enjoy each other's company, each other's opinions, and that you really want to celebrate that connection. I'm going to clarify this. You have the 2 of Swords. So here, this is a concept of being at a crossroads, and kind of thinking like, is it this or that, this or that, this or that? And again, here, this energy, it's a little bit of this, it's a little bit of that, it's a little bit of the other. And then maybe, subtract a notch and add, 3 thingamabobs. So hopefully that makes sense. But ultimately, the effect of the holidays is that you don't really need to have a defined what this connection is. You know that you enjoy each other and support each other and really want to, look forward to the next life experience that comes your way. So let's see the most, what most influences whether the holidays make or break this connection. You have the Hanged Man. So ultimately, it's kind of what you do in your downtime. If you are okay with just hanging out, just being there, seeing things from a new perspective, and welcoming whatever reflections and realizations that you have, because things are going to change. They're going to change. And what's going to change is kind of, things in your life. And this is a period of reflection for you to see what it is that you kind of are looking to change, or the things that have been changing about you. Possibly like reflecting on this 3 of Swords situation. So group number 1, I'm going to close off this reading with an oracle card to see what the future has in store for this connection. You have the card of Solitude. This is ultimately the equivalent of the Hermit, of really taking it one step at a time and following that, light of knowledge, that light that draws you, and just enjoying the journey for what it is. So this is what I have for you. I'm hoping it provides a helpful perspective of whether the holidays makes or breaks your connection. We'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 2, those who picked Ethereal Vision's Illuminated Tarot deck to find out how the holidays will impact your connection with a certain someone. Before we get into the tarot cards, we're going to look at some oracle cards to check out who you're connecting with so that you can get another point of reference to determine whether this reading is the right one for you. You have daring. So group number 2, the person you're connecting with, they are someone who likes to have a sense of like shock value. They are someone who likes to push the envelope, likes to color outside the lines, and is someone who likes to attract attention. You have this card of serious. So the person you are connecting with, they have a serious side to them, and they might even, when they are kind of pushing boundaries a little bit, it might be that they seem serious, but to them it feels like it's a sense of how they are amusing themselves almost. So let's get some more information about the person you're connecting with, group number 2. You have the camel, travel, stamina, and service. So the person you are connecting with, they might be someone who has lived in a lot of places, traveled a lot. They are someone who can really, it's almost a sense they can go the distance and even further than you would anticipate. So it's a sense of if they were to, let's say, pull a joke or a prank on someone, that you really wouldn't be able to tell when that joke was over with or if it was still ongoing, because they can carry it on for a while. And you have here the otter, play, gathering, joy. So at the heart, again, of whatever this serious nature is, it is something that's just play for them. It's something that is amusing and fun, and it might even just be to put on a show for other people's amusement that are around them. So let's see the pre-holiday energy that influenced your connection. You have this rocket on course. So it seemed that, things were moving at a pace that you were comfortable with, possibly, not really too concerned. Maybe there was a certain routine that you were able to interact with in terms of like timing or patterns that you were really comfortable with. And you have this card of indulge. So the pre-holiday energy influencing your connection was something that was really it's almost like something that was, I want to say, too good to be true, but that's not the word I'm looking for. But it's almost that good. It's something that you kind of feel like you need to do it in secret because, or like try to get a lot at one time because you don't want it to end. And you don't necessarily want other people to interrupt while it's like, like binge watching a certain show on Netflix where you just have to roll into the next one because you really are like, there's a rhythm. There is a mode, not a valence. Yeah, there's a zone. You're in a zone. That's what it is. You're in a certain zone, and really looking forward to the next interaction and putting those dots together. You can see all these like connect the dots here, the constellation, and kind of seeing, what's happening next. So let's No, I've got some more. I got some more oracle cards to talk about this pre-holiday connection. So let's see what else we have. All right, group number 2. These are pretty good, but we have pain. So I wonder what this pain is. To some degree, it could be that there is, this play on seriousness is because they're not wanting to put onto someone else kind of internal struggles that they're having, but role playing it as if, like, what if I did? This, if I kind of looked like I was upset, but I'm not really upset. I'm not really upset now, but maybe there was something like this in the past I was upset about. If I would have, acted in this way or come off in this way, how would it have been taken? And you have this card of energy. So, I think it's interesting. I think this person you're connecting with, this daring, this seriousness, it might be that they have some baggage that they're carrying, like in this big camel hump. But they really want to make it so they're putting their energy in a good way, something that's fun. So here, whatever this pain is, we might get into that in this reading, because it is just really another, pain kind of, it comes and goes, especially it's almost, you've got this this melting thing is almost like that ice cream cone, like melting. So, too much of a good thing or too much of anything can be a bad thing. So let's kind of see where that kind of shows up here or explains itself in the cards. So let's take a look at their pre-holiday feelings about you, group number 2. You have the 4 of Wands. This is a card of celebration. This is a card of, celebrating a milestone, parties, fun, being around the people that make you feel good. So let's take a look at their pre-holiday hopes for the connection between you two. We have the Tower here. So this is kind of a sense of upheaval, sudden shock to the system. So it may be that they've had some issues in the past, and again, that sense of wanting to eat something as fast as you can, or binge something as fast as you can, so no one can interrupt it. So here with this Tower, this hopes for the connection, it might be that things were going so good that they almost wanted it to fail so that they didn't have their hopes up. But I'm going to clarify that for you, group number 2. You have the 4 of Swords here. So with the 4 of Swords, that comes after the 3 of Swords, which is a card of pain and disappointment. So it is almost as if they just were hoping, if things were going to go bad, hopefully they just happen sooner than later, so I can just use the holidays to get over it, just recover. So let's see a key realization during the holidays that they have about your connection. You have here the Temperance card. And this is a card of moderation, of really blending the past with opportunities presented in the present to focus on the future that they want for themselves, for you. it's a card of really healing. So perhaps healing their past, healing some type of internal, issues, pain that they're dealing with. So I'm going to clarify this Temperance card. You have the Seven of Swords here. This is a card of deception, liar, stealer, cheater. It may be that there's some things from their past that they're not really, proud of. It might have nothing to do with how they've been with you, but just in general, like a sense of like imposter syndrome, or a sense of, again, that concept of things being, I guess, too good to be true, where things are, where they don't deserve it almost. So let's see a key realization during the holidays that you have about your connection with this person. You have the Wheel of Fortune here, and it's kind of, a sense of karma, a sense of fate, destiny, and recognizing that things will change. There's always change, and it's kind of, how do you want to handle the change? I'm going to clarify that Wheel of Fortune. You have the Nine of Wands here, and this is a card of preparation, a card of feeling like you might need to defend against something. So to some degree, group number 2, this pain might be like an individual aspect of your past that you're dealing with as well. Perhaps you know of this person's past and you're wondering if it'll kind of, with the Wheel of Fortune, if it's happened before, is it going to happen again? Is it going to happen to you? Are you, prepared for it? Are you not really being aware of what's going on? But let's see here the effect that the holidays will have on your connection. You have Ace of Swords. So this is a card of clarity. It may be that how you communicate or being in communication is going to really influence this connection during the holidays. So let's see what most influences whether the holiday makes or breaks this connection for you. You have the Ace of Wands. So if there is some type of spark to reach out to this person, to communicate with them, if you're wanting things to continue, then take a hold of that opportunity, that spark, that whatever that feeling is that motivates you to think of this person, to contact them, to let them know what you're thinking, to, send them a cute, meme or something that's funny, or just to call to say hi. It seems like that is really going to determine how things go for your connection. But let's close off with an oracle card to see what the future has in store for this connection. You have Curiosity. This is, it also says winter season. This is equivalent to the Page of Swords. So just being curious about the other person. The Ace of Swords, the Page of Swords, that initial spark with the Ace of Wands of wonder, of motivation, connection. That is, what the future has in store for you, is learning about the other person, asking questions about the other person, kind of their perspectives about life, who they are, who they were, and maybe even, why is it that they, come off so serious when you know that the heart of things, they are really, they're really playful and fun. But really, this is something for you to kind of feel. It seems like with the Tower, with the Temperance card, with the Wheel of Fortune, there are potential like heavy things going on in the background if you are open to explore those things. With these aces here and the Page of Swords, this Curiosity card, it seems like that is a good way to get to know each other a little bit more. If it's too heavy for you, then, you can choose to let those opportunities pass you by as well. So this is what I have for you. I'm hoping this provides a helpful perspective of whether the holidays makes or breaks your connection with this person. We'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 3, those who picked Tarot of Haunted House, to find out how the holidays impact your connection with a certain someone. Before we get into the tarot cards, we're going to look at some oracle cards to identify who you're connecting with. This should give you another point of reference to determine whether this is the right reading for you. So let's see who you're connecting with, group number 3. You have messy. So the person that you are connecting with, they are either someone who is messy in terms of, their room, their clothes, their hair, or possibly even their life a little bit. You also have young. So it could be why things are messy. Possibly not a lot of responsibilities in life, or not feeling the need to take on a lot of responsibility. Maybe someone who is also just younger than you or young looking. We also have here the Goat, conquering vitality and new heights. So group number 3, the person that you are connecting with, even though they might not at face value look like they have like a pristine appearance or things going on in their life, they are someone who is really energetic, someone who is advancing forward in life the way that they want to, and really, achieving certain goals that they've set out for themselves. To some degree, this person might be like outdoorsy, and so messy might kind of pertain to the person's lack of need for sanitation or cleanliness, someone who can, rough it a little bit. Then you have here raccoon, ingenuity, disguise, and resourcefulness. So here is another creature who is really happy wherever they are. They will dig through the trash to eat. They will be playful. With this disguise and ingenuity, it's as if they have this ability to kind of, I want to say like, they go unnoticed sometimes, but that's because they don't match other people's expectations. But when they are kind of, what's the word I'm thinking of? Underestimate. People tend to underestimate this person you are having a connection with. like they don't fit a certain expectation that someone might have for what they are capable of. They're very this resourcefulness. They're able to really not only get by, but get ahead and thrive off of, minimal things. And it is kind of making me think of someone who likes camping, or is able just to, throw a bunch of things in their backpack and is good for a week of traveling. That type of thing. So let's take a look at the pre-holiday energy that's influencing your connection with this person. You have baggage, and you have gaining speed. So this baggage here might not necessarily mean the baggage that we are usually connecting with relationship readings or connections with other people. Again, this is someone who doesn't really, there's people underestimate them and they exceed expectations. And so this baggage is kind of more the concept of they have that, backpack full of everything that they need. They can get by with just a wagon full of their goods. So here, this energy of baggage and gaining speed, it's almost as if you had been kind of learning from them or getting a different perspective from them, and your interest in them was kind of really growing. So let's see what else we have here with respect to that pre-holiday energy. You have stop, and you have fear. That's interesting. So here with this stop and fear, when it was gaining speed, we'll get into that in this reading. It could be you, it could be them. But it seems here that this fear, I don't see that for them. I see that they are someone who is kind of moving things forward. In the stop and the fear, it could be more of you second guessing yourself, your attraction to this person, and expectations that you have for a connection with someone, or expectations that you think other people might have of you. So let's take a look at their pre-holiday feelings about you, group number 3. You have 2 of Swords. So here there is a sense of they're kind of going back and forth about something about you. There is a sense of fear in that, but here it's as if, and I'm noticing the red blindfold with the stop. So it could be a sense of, the vibe they're getting from you is a sense of you are not interested. But let's keep going. Let's see their pre-holiday hopes for your connection. You have here the Hermit, and this is a sense of taking things one step at a time and being apart from the crowd, doing things at your own pace and not really needing encouragement of others. You don't really need feedback from other people. So it seems like they were hoping that this connection would move towards its ultimate, what's the word I'm thinking of? Its ultimate truth, and not really have other people involved in that truth. I'm going to actually clarify that. You have the Ace of Wands, and I think it's really interesting that here the Ace of Wands is being lit by a hand that is different than the hand that's holding the candle here. It's kind of like this hermit who's got this lantern. Here, it's as if it's kind of like all you need is each other to, create that spark, to create that light and take that next step. If you allow it just to be the two of you, as opposed to other people's opinions, other people kind of getting involved with that. So let's see a key realization during the holidays that they have about you and your connection. This is the Four of Wands. So here it's a sense of celebration, a sense of happiness. It is really to celebrate milestones. And typically this is a card of birthdays, marriages, graduations. So it's almost as if they realize that, over the holidays, they'll realize that the connection with you is something that is, they see it where the both of you are going to be able to come together and take a journey of your own. It's like a rite of passage. That's what they're realizing about you. But let's see what key realization during the holidays you'll have about this connection. You have the Tower. So here it's a sense of whatever beliefs that you have, whatever things that your ego believes you need to kind of meet a certain standards that you place on yourself that maybe others don't even have of you. Certain beliefs that are really create more of a wall around you. Those are kind of going to give way. So there's some type of, sudden shock to your system. Maybe you do realize that you have, certain expectations of yourself, or maybe that this person you're thinking wasn't good enough for you, or, other people wouldn't appreciate them. And so it's almost as if you might be realizing how much other people's opinions of your relationship matter. But let's clarify. You have the 10 of Pentacles. And this is a card of material wealth, stability. It's a sense of your foundations in the material world. That's kind of a realization you're going to kind of see, I'm not going to say fall apart completely, but it's going to give you pause, and it's going to have you think about the things that you material wise that you need others to see you have. So let's see the effect that the holidays will have on this connection. You have the Six of Swords. And it's kind of hard to see in the background, but there's a shipwreck back there. It's a sense of moving on, moving forward. It's also a sense of like healing, and ultimately being in a situation that was better than it was before. So I'm going to clarify that to see if that kind of has to do with your Tower situation. We have the Devil card. So this is, the effect the holidays is going to have on your connection is whether or not it seems you can heal or rectify or recognize or put into place some type of routine or thought process to deal with some type of ego, some instant gratification, instant satisfaction, something where you get to have this power where it's not necessarily for your best and highest good, and it's not necessarily power that's going to last for sustainable in the long run. So it seems that the holidays, it may be that you spending time with your friends, your family over the holidays. Group number 3 is going to kind of help you see where you might have inherited certain thought processes or patterns or beliefs about, things of expectation you've placed on yourself, expectations you placed on others, expectations that you placed on certain connections that you might have with people. So let's see what most influences whether the holidays makes or breaks the connection for you or for them or others around them. You have the 9 of Wands, and here you can see there's like a maze this person just came out of. They have been putting a lot of energy into believing in themselves, being prepared for the unexpected, really encouraging themselves to keep going when it feels like there's no point in it. So here it's a sense of what is it that you are prepared to put up with? What is it that they're prepared to put up with? And a sense of whether or not this is something that individually either one of you wants to take on. Again, with a sense of not really having other people's opinions involved in it. So I'm going to close off here with an oracle card to see what the future has in store for this connection that you have, group number 3. Okay. Interesting. You have this card of the past. So here, in terms of the future, what this connection has in store for you, it really seems that you need to take a look at your past, possibly with respect to material wealth, things that reflect a sense of value for you, things that you've learned from others, and take a real look at what it is that you want or have wanted, how you can possibly break some patterns, and whether you are kind of in a position to really take a look and, really take a look at some beliefs that you have, some thought processes, patterns, either in relationship patterns. And I think it's really interesting here that you've got this fear card and this past card. It looks like really the difference is here is this hourglass, this broken hourglass, shattered hourglass with the sand spilling out. It's kind of giving me a sense of that tower situation. So I hope this provides a helpful perspective of whether the holiday makes or breaks your connection. We'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 4, those who picked 78 Tarot Animal, to find out how the holidays will influence your connection with a certain someone. Before we get into the tarot cards, we're going to look at some oracle cards to identify who you're connecting with, and this should give you another point of reference to figure out whether this is the right reading for you. So let's see about the person you are connecting with, group number 4. We have mature. So this person may be older than you, have more life experience than you, or someone generally who is, responsible and maybe has an old soul about them. You also have here droopy eyes. So perhaps these are in connection. Maybe it's one or the other for you, for your person you're connecting with. But let's get more information on this person. We have here the ray or stingray, suppression, calibration, and flow. So here, this kind of indicates the person you're connecting with. They want to go with the flow of things. They want to kind of be out of the spotlight to a certain degree. They may have something in their past that they are, keeping to themselves, haven't really quite shared it with others. It may be that there's certain worries that they have or responsibilities that they have that they're trying to really handle on their own, and try to just move forward and glide through life. You also have the penguin, devotion, sociability, and order. So here, the person you're connecting with, they are someone who is loyal. They are someone that can take on a lot. They are someone who wants to, again, be in the flow. Not necessarily center of attention, but having connections that matter, that means something to them. And they are someone who might be open to switching things up a bit. Penguins, I believe the males are the ones that sit on the eggs as opposed to the females. So there's a sense of formality to them, but they are open to change every now and then. So let's take a look at the pre-holiday energy influencing your connection. You have shine brightly. So a sense of a spark between you two, a sense of just something about each other standing out in a crowd and drawing you together. And you have play. So it could be, again, this, it could be like in a friend group that you had met this person, or your connection allows you to have the same kind of friends, and you really do play off of each other, and it's almost as if there's a sense of a skit or roles that you tend to take on, and it's as if you play off of each other, and in that process lift each other up, or, highlight the positives in each other. Like, they, however you play off of each other, it shows that you're witty or that they're super funny. It really just like intensifies the good qualities. It's as if you are cheerleading each other in that interaction. You have this card of intuition. So here it's as if there's this unspoken connection. And again, it's like that it just makes me think of a skit, like almost a comedy skit. But it doesn't have to be a comedy skit, but it's just as if you know each other, you know the right questions to ask in front of other people, so it highlights a talent or, it just allows the other person to have a moment to shine. And you have this card of surrender. So this pre-holiday energy of just allowing things to be, not forcing things to happen, that's kind of been influencing your energy. And I think it's interesting how you've got this kind of shine brightly, this circle, and then the intuition has these circles, and the surrender has these circles. It's a sense of you two are on the same wavelength, or you understand that there's like this like collective consciousness, and you're able to play off of that with each other. So let's take a look at what the tarot cards say if I can shuffle them. There. Okay, so group number 4, we're going to take a look at their pre-holiday feelings for you. This person that you have this connection with. Pre-holiday feelings for you. You have the 5 of Wands, and this is a card of like conflict. It may be that there is competition for you. Maybe there's other people that want your attention, or it could be their internal feelings for you and what they want to prioritize. So I'm going to go ahead and clarify that. You have the King of Cups here. This is, the card of the romantic, supportive, emotionally stable, caring person. So it does seem like their feelings for you are, it's almost like maybe that suppression thing, they're carrying something that really makes it that their feelings for you are being overpowered by something else going on. This could be that, maybe they're trying to focus on their career and they want to make you a priority as well. Or, they are trying to study for some type of exam, but they want to pay attention to you, but they also want to do well. So it's a sense of them being pulled maybe in different directions. So let's see their pre-holiday hopes for the connection between you. You have here the Fool. So this is, as if it is a kid looking at the big city and just being like, wow, I can't wait to take that on. I'm excited about the new connections. I'm excited about the ups, the downs, seeing where this goes. So it's a sense of really having an open heart, open mind, and a childlike sense of wonder about this connection, of where it can go. So let's see a key realization during the holidays that they'll have about the connection you two have. You have the Queen of Wands, and this is a card that indicates fire and water, so passion and emotion. It's fun, it's loyal, it's playful, it does its own thing. You can see this dog right here has the tongue sticking out of its mouth. It wants to be center of attention. So it's really a sense of doing its own thing and being its, best amazing self. So it's like their realization that they have about this connection is it can do whatever, it can go wherever it wants. It's full of fun. It's full of like daring, playful sassiness. So let's see a key realization during the holidays that you have about this connection. You have the Two of Swords, and that is a card of, indecision, of maybe trying to look at things from a factual perspective, whereas before it was more like on a different level where it's more like intuitive and going off of the vibe of each other. I'm going to clarify this. You have the Queen of Cups here, and you have the King of Cups here. So perhaps group number 4, there is indecision because, is there someone else that might be a potential, whether it's the actual person or the concept of a person, a concept of someone else. But ultimately, you got the King and Queen of Cups is a great love connection. But, maybe there's indecision about, this person, and that's fine. Because there is something about them that they are able to take on a lot, carry a lot, and pack it away. And it might be that, this Five of Wands is indicative of the things that they have packed away from their past, or even their interactions with you that they aren't really bringing up or talking about because they have this ability to really control their emotions, manage their emotions in a way where it's like, maybe I don't want to bring that up because what does it matter, because this is really great. But ultimately, at some point, it might be that those things do matter. Talking about feelings, even if it's like a passing, frustration, those do matter. And when they build up, it can, lead to someone who is emotionally sturdy, possibly spilling their cup, drinking way too much from their cup. So it might be that you are sensing, because with this Queen of Cups, you're tying into your intuition, you're sensing something's going on. And it might be that you are really trying to figure out the facts of why is it that you're sensing something. Obvious, thing is just ask, but sometimes you ask a question, people don't really give you an honest answer, maybe because they don't understand what you're asking, or they don't really think that the honest answer is the answer you're looking for, or they don't know the honest answer. So let's take a look at the effect that the holidays will have on this connection. You have the King of Wands. So the effect is that there is that potential. You've got the Queen of Wands, that potential for this going the distance. This King of Wands is someone who is a visionary leader, but also someone who is loyal, a protector. Someone will fight for what they want. So it might be that, you both come to a realization this is worth fighting for. And even though this, being on the same wavelength and feeling each other's vibe and playing off of that is fun, there is, to make it go the distance, you have to start looking at the real world things, the material things, the, different demands, different priorities, and communicating about those things. So let's see what most influences whether the holidays makes or breaks this connection for you, group number 4. You have the Magician. So here, this is a card of being confident, recognizing your environment, recognizing your talents, your skills, and it's also a card of communication. You can have all the talent and skills in the world, but if you're not aware of your environment, you might not know what, to manifest. Or if you are someone who is very much aware of what's in your environment, but not confident about your skills, or not confident in general, you might just wait and let the environment dictate how you go about things. So basically, you using your words, you communicating, them communicating, others communicating, recognizing, what's going on with you and how you're feeling, and talking about those things, taking the fun that you have, the play that you have, and kind of bring it into the material world with, discussions about feelings and where things are going. That might most influence what happens with your connection. But I'm going to close off this reading with an oracle card to see what the future has in store for this connection between you. You have the Fool again. This is a card of possibilities. It corresponds with the Fool. And this is a sense of having an open heart, open mind. At the bottom it says when you least expect it, things that, it's like magic almost. That magic can happen if you want this to be something serious, if you want this to be something long lasting. It really does depend on the communication that you two have. You have the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. You have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. And you have two fools falling in love. So this is what I have for you. I hope this provides a helpful perspective of whether the holidays make or break your connection. And we'll see you next time. Take care.